Alright, I've been promising this for a while, but I guess it's time we finally did it. Let's review what happened in FIPA and the UBL. Hey guys, what's up? IrishEmerald here, and welcome to our review. Our league review for FIPA and UBL. I think it'd be good if we did both of them into one video, because they finished so shortly after each other. So it'd be nice to be able to sit down and just go a review. And this is also serves as like a nice mind update regarding our Draft League World Cup qualification process and how we're sitting there with that. Now, I'm going to lead off with that particular topic. That's actually probably the best segue of doing it. Our qualification process is still pretty lacking, right? Giving you the quick overview. Our FIPA performance was decent, but not making playoffs hurt. But our decent FIPA performance was negated by our awful UBL performance. So regarding our coach competitive score, which is one route to qualify for the Draft League World Cup, is effectively unchanged since we came back because of our poor UBL run. So that is obviously down on me, which definitely sucks. And despite the fact that we did reasonably well in FIPA, we went 500 in that, so that definitely does suck. Regarding the league qualification path, like, we got 23 points from competing in FIPA, but we only managed to get 7 points from competing in UBL because we had such a poor season. So that only gives us 30 points. We're a good bit chunk off. I think we're around like 56 points short of like the lowest possible league ticket there. So we do have to do better. Now, obviously, we've only played 2 leagues. Other players have played in 3 or 4, so they have a higher total there. We have to obviously play in more leagues and hopefully finish well in more leagues in order to increase both our coach competitive score and our league tickets. If you're confused as to what is going on there, I'll probably leave a card up. It's in my comeback video, right? Actually, yeah, just go look at the comeback video. I have actually a 2-minute explanation as to what all this is, and there's always links in the description down below explaining what the Draft League World Cup is. So if you're wondering all about that, check out the description, check out my comeback video. It'll all be there. But yeah, I'm going to start with FIPA because that finished off that was the first league to finish up in. We went 500 in that league. That league actually was the hardest possible league we could have joined. Full stop, right? There was no league that was rated at 5 at the time because they had changed their ranking system. So we got into a league that was 4.5, and FIPA would be rated 5 next season. So that'd be like a 5-star league. We were in a 4.5-star league, and it was tough, right? There's no denying it. It was quite tough, but it was really good fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I got to give a huge shout out to the guys who actually ran FIPA. I've always been on the record prior to my retirement that showdown leagues, generally speaking, always run off the rails because coaches who aren't having a good season generally tend to dip. They tend to ghost because they just don't want to play anymore, and gradually the league can spin out of control because once you lose coaches at a poor record, it's very hard to find a replacement, etc. But honestly, everybody at FIPA did such a good job. The coaches were fantastic. The admin team did a fantastic job. It was thoroughly well run, so I got to give a huge shout out to them. But we ended up going 500. Our schedule definitely, we started off very poorly, right? You'll see the schedule up on screen as I'm kind of talking through it. We started off with an 0-4 loss. We should have really won that game, in my opinion. That came down to me not prepping for one particular threat, which was the Como O being set up, Como O. And had I kind of prepped that a little bit more, it would have been a lot easier because most of that game was in our favour. So we were having a really good battle up to that point, and then we lost. I'm pretty sure they ended up winning, and they did. They actually ended up winning this season. So the fact that we had such a good battle week 1 against the future champions, only to end up losing, like the 4-0 does not give us justice as to how well we did there. Definitely did suck. And unfortunately, then for like the rest of this, for a few weeks after that, we kind of generally tend to drift in and out of getting our W's. So we end up going 0-2, 1-2, 1-3, then 2-3, and then we lost our week 6. And at that point, we were 2-4. Leading into the final 4 weeks, and that was a very tricky position for us because we basically had to win all our 4 games to guarantee playoffs. So that was a big stretch that we had to perform well in. It was quite scary, and some of the teams that we were going up against were teams that were already in the playoffs or in quite highly ranked. So very difficult, but I think we managed to turn it around very, very well. We strung 2 wins on the bounce to get us back up to 500. Then we lost our penultimate game in week 9 0-2, which if you rewind that, I did a post comment of that particular game, and there was essential turns that we made mistakes in, which were very, very poor. And had we not made those mistakes, it could have been a different game. Now, in fairness to our opponent, J Paul at the time, he played a flawless game. Like, he played there was not one turn that he made that I was questionable or doubtful or worried. Like, he played effectively a flawless game that game. So can't really say, oh, we didn't exploit a mistake or anything like that. Like, we made mistakes, our opponent didn't. He got the W. It was well deserved. So that was very unfortunate, and we kind of got lucky in our week 10 game to up against the FBI, the Federal Bureau of Intelligence. We got a little bit of luck. We were both running hyper offense. It was the best way of doing winning that game, and we got a little bit of luck and we managed to win that 2-0. But unfortunately, that was not enough for us to be able to get out or get into playoffs. As you can see here on the screen, you guys, 1 through 8 made playoffs, but unfortunately we finished 10th, and we were just diff. Diff was the thing that absolutely killed us. We were relying on results to go our way after we picked up that 2-0 win, but unfortunately diff killed us. We couldn't quite get the results to go our way. And look, if at any one of those losses that we had picked up was in fact a W, we make playoffs then. So that just goes to show how tight it was and how we really kind of turned the season around a lot. So look, I think we did as much as we possibly could towards the end of the season, and it wasn't it was just the slow start killed us. Really, the slow start really did kill us. But I'm really proud of how we turned that season around based on how poorly we did start. I think that was really good. We changed a couple of things up. We kind of just took it game by game, and we really kind of exploited what was there in front of us. One big change we made was actually how we used Yoshifu. So I was saying, like, roughly halfway through the season, I am not really getting the most out of this Yoshifu, because this thing should be an absolute monster. It should be absolutely wrecking things, and we're not getting everything we want from that Pokemon. Like, we need a little bit more. So we kind of changed around how we used Yoshifu, and we just started bringing Band, and we really just kind of said, look, this is obvious. We're bringing Banded here, but it was the kind of case where this thing basically broke, every single Pokemon, maybe bar 1 or 2. And if it didn't break it, we could pivot around into U-turn. And we just kind of changed the playstyle a little bit, just to say, look, let's just get this Pokemon to shine as bright as it can. It's used as a wall breaker. Let's just give it a battle choice band. Let's forget about setup or any of that kind of nonsense. And we'll make our opponent worry about Yoshifu rather than us trying to squeeze more out of Yoshifu. We just make this as easy and as dumb-proof and idiot-proof as possible. And that's where that season kind of definitely changed around, and the prep started getting a little bit better. Our play started to get a little bit better, and it was really good. Overall, if you look at kind of the stats here, we brought Melodic every game, every week, and I do think we probably relied on Melodic too much. I think we relied on Melodic too much. Probably the same could be going for the UBL. We definitely were relying on Melodic's book a ton, and I don't think, for the workload that we wanted Melodic to do, it's capable of doing. There's a lot of weeks that we had to bring the Flame Orb, and that's kind of a nuisance if you have to bring the Flame Orb to do all of that work. That was a little bit of a nuisance. That's definitely a bit of a nuisance. But I thought then some of the ones that we did pick up did quite a nice little bit of work. Spiritomb did work when called upon. I was really happy with that. Talonflame did an extraordinary amount of work. I was really surprised by how much work Talonflame did this season. Normally that was probably a Pokemon that I would have overlooked a lot in the past, but Talonflame did an extraordinary amount of work, going 8 and 5 with the kill death ratio. It only came 6 times, so when it came, it did work. Latios was pretty solid too. I kind of wish we probably got a little bit more out of it, but again, a slow season start definitely kind of hindered us there. So even though I do like the pairing of what we got, Yoshifu and Latios, it's just, you could argue maybe I wasn't quite up to scratch fast enough to be able to get more out of Latios, because we definitely got more out of Yoshifu towards the end of the season. But overall, you guys, I do think that our FIPA season went very, very well. Obviously, there was a big learning curve at the start to get back into Pokemon, but I think we can be proud of how we got on, because we didn't make it easy on ourselves. We didn't just pick up like a really easy league and bring ourselves back up. We went at the highest level possible, and I don't think we sunk. We definitely kind of just floated along. We were threading water. So hopefully next season we're able to kind of come back into FIPA and perform better and more admiredly, and hopefully get playoffs, because we really do need to get playoffs to get our Draft League World qualification back on process. So that was the easy bit, alright? FIPA. UBL on the other hand, not so much. Not so. So let's just take a look at the leaderboard first, right? Yeah, 2 and 7 is poor. You got the it's just poor. Like there's just no denying it. It's very, very poor. We started off fantastic, 5-0 win. That was amazing. Like couldn't have asked for a better start. We were top of the table after week 1. I was there thinking, oh, I'm back, baby. You know, like oh yeah. Lost to Auto 2-0. Basically, that should be in a 1-0, but you know the hacks. But yeah, Auto probably deserved to win. Vepsis was our week 3 opponent. Now Vepsis obviously had to. I'm not going to say dip, but he had to leave for personal reasons. So even though it doesn't say Vepsis there, it's gravy. But it was Vepsis who took who we lost to 0-5. Week 4 it all unraveled. I think when we lost to Under the Radar because I forgot. I changed my prep last minute because I forgot why I had a certain move on Hitmon top to be able to counter his Scizor. It happens. Like I can't. There's just no mistake running away from it. It happens. We got smacked. That was where it definitely unraveled because we were 1 and 3 at that point. And rather than me being 1 and 3 with -2 with like a low enough diff, I was like 1 and 3 with a -8 diff, and all of a sudden your season starts looking terrible at that point. So that was not good. If we had turned around, like we got to week 5 then, and look, we were 1 and 4, but I was definitely of the opinion, look, if we go like if we can win our last we're 1 and 3, but if we can win like 4 of our last 5, right? Something similar to what I did in FIPA, like we could, if we go on a little bit of a run, we're still in this, right? So I was there thinking to myself, you know what, let's just win our first game, right? Let's just literally take what we've done in FIPA, take it game by game, win our first game, keep going from there, and we see what happens. And look, I'm going to stay with this until the day I die. That week 5 game, we should have won that. I hands down believe that Grandmaster D-Ray, our opponent, was arguably the most luckiest player of the season in the UBL. Even though he didn't make playoffs, he finished 8. I hands down, I'm going to tie myself to the tree here while it's being chopped down and stand by my guns there. He's definitely the most luckiest player this season. I'm going to stand by the fact that he was lucky against us. The hacks he got, the accuracy, the crits, it is what it is, right? And at that point then, 1 and 4, like it was unlikely then because we have to win 4 games in a row. And I just looked at the schedule and I was like, you know what, I got the teams that finished 1 and 2 on the schedule. I was like, this is not going to go well, and it didn't. Now, unfortunately, we picked up the win the final week, so we had 2 wins and picked us up, got us 12. So it's not an embarrassment, but it's embarrassment. Like I'm not happy. I'm fuming with it, to be honest. I'm absolutely disgusted. Like I'm not happy with the UBS season at all. Like I was minimum playoffs for me this season was the target on our first season back, but yeah, that was just poor, piss poor. Like there's just no getting around it. Looking at the team we drafted, I think Hydreigon's a bust. Right, I was not a fan of Hydreigon. Not one part of me thought Hydreigon was good this season. It did work week 5, but I found that a lot of time Hydreigon, for whatever reason, this gen, it just misses out on a little bit of power. It just misses out on that little bit of extra oomph that it had before in Gen 7 and Gen 6. It's just nowhere near as effective. Whatever's going on with it, it just does not have the same amount of power, that same amount of wall breaking ability, and that's what I really wanted from Hydreigon in this team. I wanted Hydreigon to be my premier wall breaker, and it just couldn't do it. It really just couldn't do it. And that was my second pick, so that was very, very poor. Coco was very poor for me as well. Now, granted, I was trying to get Coco to do a lot offensively, and I just wasn't. Now, it did a ton of work for me in the last game and against ultra players, so I'm not nowhere near as down on Coco for me this season, but Hydreigon for me, very, very poor. I thought when we drafted my life 3rd overall, I think that was probably too early, and again, very similar to what I said in FIPA, probably asking Mike to be doing too much work for me when it probably is not able to do the workload I asked it to do. So that was another big issue. Then we see, I loved using Nidoking. I thought Nidoking was great, even though the kill death ratio wasn't great on Nidoking. I thought It's only like 3 kills, 7 deaths. I did think it did a whole lot of wall breaking for us. Same with Darm. I thought Darm was very, very good. Not as effective this gen though as it was in Gen 7. That's just the difference of the gens. I think the big surprise for me, it's hard to really pick out real gems that we had this season, but I think the real pickup for me was I really liked Licky Licky. I thought Licky Licky was really cool. It was really nice defensively for wish passing. It was an absolute nuisance. The coverage on it is great. I wasn't sold on Licky Licky before, but I definitely am now. I think Licky Licky is fantastic. So that would be something I'd definitely be looking at drafting again. And finally being able to get to use Nidoking was cool too. I'm really happy that I actually finally got to use it. But there's no denying, guys, that UBL season, that's a bust, right? That was nothing short of a calamitous failure. So hopefully next season in UBL we manage to do better, because my God, that was poor. That was bad. That was bad. You know. Yeah, I don't really kind of want to drag on as to what I thought was bad, because I kind of want to talk about that in another video where I kind of go through the differences between Gen 7 and Gen 8 draft leagues. I think that's a better video to do this, and I'm hoping to do that next week after this video is released. So I think that might be a better place to do it. What I will say though, guys, and I probably will say it in the future video as well, is that if you are coming back from Gen 7 and you want to get into draft leagues again, my recommendation is to do a Nat Dex draft like what we were doing in FIPA, where you have your megas involved. You're not going to get your Z moves, but just the fact that you have megas and you have all the Pokemon available, there's more toys in the pram for you to be able to kind of play with that you're more familiar with, and the playstyle is a lot more similar to Gen 7. It's kind of a step in between Gen 7 and Gen 8, whereas if you go and step into a Galar only Dex League, the playstyle is a good bit different, and you could well find yourself out of your comfort zone very quickly, like what I did. So it's harsh, it's tough, but I think it's definitely something that if you're looking to go back in draft leagues, do your Nat Dex League first and get your legs underneath you before you go attempting a Galar Dex League, because it's a tough grind. Before I wrap it up, you guys, I always ask this, so I'm going to ask again. Please let me know what you guys thought of the videos, the video content itself. Did you guys like the intros that I have? Were the intros where I had the graphics come up, was that too long? Did you like the editing style? Did you like the presentation? Did you like the audio stuff that I added? Give me that feedback, because if there's anything that you guys think should be improved on, then I can make that improvement myself rather than just going about what I'm doing currently at the moment. So anything to make the videos better for you guys is good for me. So that feedback is amazing. So if you guys can give me that feedback too, that'd be fantastic. And also, you guys let me know what you guys think of the leagues. Tell me what you thought about FIPA. Tell me what you thought about UBL. I want to hear exactly what you guys thought. Love to hear you guys' feedback in the comment section down below. It'd be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there today, folks. If you haven't already, please click the like button down below for me. Click that subscribe button to see more draft league content coming away on this channel. Go check us out on Twitch if you want to see some showdown laddering, some Wi-Fi battles, and some draft league watch-alongs. And yeah, I think that's it. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.